guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I have no idea what I'm really doing with my life. And I have certain friends that I feel like, they kind of have it together and they kind of know like what they want out of life. But I feel like that I also have like friends who are kind of just like, how do you say it? Like they're just kind of living it day by day, and that's kind of like how I'm approaching it too, without really like a real long-term plan of like what they want out of life. And I feel like that is causing me a ton of stress. So yeah, I guess in today's video it's just kind of just me speaking out loud my thoughts, not really here to like give advice or anything because I don't have any advice to give, just talking about my experience. But yeah, like I'm like getting close to 30, and there's some people that have kids already at this age or are planning on having kids, and I think for me, like I'm just like, there's no way I can have kids at this age because I don't even know what I'm doing with my career. Like how am I going to be able to pay for these kids for the next 18 years? And I feel like on top of that, with all that's happening with AI, it's hard to say like what I currently do for my profession, will that even exist in 10 years? So, that's something I've just been really struggling with, is like trying to find like a sustainable career, and also finding something that just gives me some type of like meaning or purpose in life. I know there are people out there that just view a job strictly as a job. It's, like you clock in, earn some money, clock out, and then you're able to use that money to live your life on vacations, on weekends, etc. And to a certain extent, I try to live my life like that, but I feel like it's difficult to live like that because obviously you spend so much time at work. You spend like 40, 50 hours a week. And so it's kind of hard to just, be okay with doing whatever for the majority of your life so that you can use that money to live your life on the weekends and, 2 or 3 vacations a year. I don't know if you guys have watched the show Severance, but in that show, basically, people sign up so that when they go to work, their brain essentially kind of like turns off, and there's like another consciousness that takes over when you're at work. And then when you get home, you kind of zap out of that, and then you become your normal person again. So it's kind of like, basically, it's almost like you go into the office, you essentially just go to sleep, and then you wake up when the workday is over. And so it's kind of like you basically just don't work, right? Your body's working, but your mind isn't actually working. So I thought that was like a pretty interesting concept. It's a really great show. I would highly recommend it. But when I was watching the show, I was thinking like, man, would I sign up for something like that? Like, that would be kind of interesting. But yeah, so that's kind of something I've been struggling with. It's just finding meaning out of my work. And I think I would love to have a job that I'm proud of. And for me, I'm just thinking like, if I do have kids, when I have kids, like I want my kids to be proud of their father and like what their father does for a job, right? And I don't really currently get that sensation. I don't get that feeling from my current job. Just in a high level, like I work in finance, and it's fine. It's a pretty boring job, but it's not something I'm proud of. It's not a profession I'm proud of. Like I wish I was like a doctor or something, right? Like I want to feel like I have like a useful skill for this world. And yeah, so I mean, this is also just like related to my saving journeys, or my savings journey, because yes, I do have like a good amount of money saved up and invested in the market, but it feels a little bit temporary because in my mind, I'm like, is this sustainable for me? Like, can I continue doing this job for the next 30 years and continue investing my money? Or is like something crazy gonna happen? I'm just gonna quit and not not be able to have an income, you know? So, you know, I wonder how many of you guys feel this way. It definitely takes up a lot of my time. Do I need to pay a toll on this road? I don't know. But yeah, as you can tell, today I am by Newport Beach. I'm going to a tennis tournament, so that'll be pretty fun. But yeah, I've just been like playing like a ton of tennis outside of work, and like, yes, it's fun, but I don't know if it really is like, it's really giving me meaning, right? Like what am I doing with my life? I just don't know. I don't have an answer, and it's kind of scary. So hopefully you guys can relate to this video. And the one thing I will say is also, you know, I do have a lot of friends, and you know, we all come from like pretty good backgrounds, went to good schools, and you know, I do know a lot of people that are in a similar situation. So I guess that does feel a little bit comforting, that it's not just me that's dealing with this. There's like a lot of people that deal with this, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're a failure, whatever, you know. So I try to tell myself that, but sometimes it gets to me, you know. Sometimes I'm just like, dude, like what the hell am I doing with my life? Anyway, that's really all I have to say. That's kind of the point of this video, just a little bit of a rant. Hopefully you guys can relate. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the scenic drive. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.